Hey everybody, it's Marty, the JavaScript party, and my buddy Rhett back there. She is having a good time. So this is the second video in this series. I did like 335 or something videos in the previous series about Angular and Three.js, and I decided to go a different route, uh, some different architectural changes, and I wanted to put all this in a playlist. I did not do that with the previous one. So for me, it is January. It's a very cold January 2nd. It's not super cold. It's out. It is like 3:35, and it's 47 degrees outside and sunny. So that's not too bad. It's supposed to get really, really cold in the next couple of days, but it feels cold outside right now. Um, so yesterday I mentioned that I thought what I was going to do is try to like pull in the Three.js code today, but then I was thinking about it. One of the things I want to do in this time around is actually have unit tests and um, end-to-end testing. And the unit tests, I do like unit tests. I have a love-hate relationship with unit tests. I like them. My favorite thing about them, so like before Angular, before TypeScript actually, I liked. I was a strong proponent of unit tests because it made upgrades reasonable. Before unit tests, basically, I we would literally upgrade like a JavaScript library, and it would take 2 to 3 years for all the little weird edge case bugs to shake out. It'd be like, oh my gosh, this is another upgrade bug. But if you had like 30 to 50% unit test coverage, it tended to all the bugs tended to work themselves out. And the upgrade was so much faster because it sort of just identified what all the problem is, and you could kind of determine a pattern and all that. But then with TypeScript, most of those benefits went away, because TypeScript will catch like any kind of argument changes or anything like that. So the vast majority of that benefit went away. But the major benefit, I think, is it changes the way that you um, write your code. You write your code in a more unit testable way, which tends to be a more like a with less with more every with all your code to be more. I think what they call it is pure, where basically the functions return the same thing no matter what you give them, and they're pretty clean and small. Um, so so I'm going to try unit tests, and I also plan to try unit end-to-end tests because I don't know. I just think they're neat. I think they'll be especially neat in a Three.js project, because it can build out things and all that, and be fun to watch. But anyways, so all we did yesterday was add hello world, change the code, the text, and all that. And I believe that there is probably, yeah, there's a file in there. So I suspect we have a unit test that checks to see if title exists. So I'm going to create, but let's see what happens if I run the unit tests. And typically, the first place you would look is inside the package and just see if you have something. So yeah, we do have ng test, which I'm guessing would run the unit test. It doesn't look like we have anything for E to E testing though, which I feel like it used to have that. But anyway, so let's say npm run test. Let's see what happens. So basically, it's setting up the. This is exactly what you said. Expect to set up. Um, and it's just so much easier to get your tests and all that stuff working before you have any code, just because, like if there's actually an issue. Um, so we have Jasmo, we have this thing. I don't see any, maybe we don't get an end to end. Okay, so now this is what you expect to see when you, when the unit tests are running. You see this Jasmine, and it's trying to run. I don't know why. Oh, you don't see it. I can see it on my over the top of my. Oh my gosh. I actually just put it over the top of the thing that I could see. Okay, so we do actually have a bug in our unit test, and that's because it's expecting to find title on the screen. So we could, just for fun, and I believe it's running and it stays running. So there's that. Now I think if okay, so what we could do is we could just go into our template, and I think we can just have it print out the title on the screen. So basically the title is space and time. Yeah, and then this unit test started running again, and it's like, I don't know why it's failing now. And I really honestly would not have expected it to fail at this point. Undefined to contain hello space and time. All right, so let's go, and we could see our unit test here. Okay, so should create the app, I'm guessing passed. So it showed that 2, 3, there was 3, 1, and 1 failed. And it's saying that this one expected the app title to, oh, okay, and that worked because that's this title up here. And then should render, oh, and it's looking for an H1, and it's looking for hello space and time. So let's go ahead and just, for the fun of it, let's put this inside of a div. And let's just copy this right here. So we're just doing this for fun, right? So, and now we're still failing. We should still fail. And it gives you your results there too, which is pretty cool. And now let's go to our spec, and we're going to tell it to select on a div instead of an H1. And we want it to collect. We're hoping that it will. So it did get an undefined. I was saying undefined is equal. Okay, so now it's happy. We look in here, and it's showing that everything is happy. There's also like this concept of the test coverage, which I don't know why we don't have test coverage, like what we have to do to get test coverage to show up. Everywhere I've ever worked, it's already been showing up. I believe it's karma coverage. So that's one thing. And then so I have two outstanding things, two things that are bugging me right now. One thing that's bugging me is that we aren't seeing our test coverage, and I believe, I can't remember what it was called. It was called like Istanbul or something like that, that will show you your test coverage. That I think that might have been, maybe that's still to this day the way it works. And then I do not see anything for our end-to-end tests. I feel like they used to automatically give you end-to-end testing, but so let's go to our old buddy ChatGPT. I wonder if I can use this. Yeah, so it doesn't. I feel like I've always had bad luck trying to use that. New Angular 19 install. How can you see unit test coverage? Question mark. Set up, okay. Oh, ng test code coverage. Okay, so I think, so that's a good thing. And see, so this is cool, right? Like, it's really cool that you can do that, but you kind of would have to know what you want. Unit test coverage. If you don't know about unit test coverage, you wouldn't be able to ask about that. So it said that I could add coverage here. No, code dash coverage. So let's see if the coverage. All right. Now this, I believe, in order for it to pick up the new setting, we would need to kill this and run test. Now I'm hoping that the little window pop-up, oh, it looks like, oh, when I killed it, we lost the window pop-up. So now it's building. It's always surprising to me how long this takes. And I have definitely worked in places where running the unit test across the entire application takes like hours, um, which, I feel like is kind of ridiculous. Oh, I just about did it again. Um, it's going to take me a little bit. Okay, so we did not see. Oh, okay, so here we have this. So basically it's saying there's 3 lines and all that. Okay, so, and I believe it probably created a report. It did not. So it used to just sort of by default also create reports, but it's saying that, hey, 100% of my statements, 100% of my branches, which was 0, and 100% of my functions, which is 0, and 100% of my lines of code, which are, I guess, these 2 lines of code, are covered. All right, so let's go ahead and ask. It's going to take me a while to get this chat GPT, how we can get it to generate a report. How do I get it to generate a report? So you have to know reports exist, right? Like if you don't know reports exist, you would not know to ask. So this is where you can, I don't know, control like whether things are green or red, and stuff like that. So it says it's supposed to generate the code, and there should be a folder called, oh, coverage. There it is. There it is. All right, so now what we can do is, I think what I normally do is I'll go like reveal in File Explorer. And then, so now we're in our coverage directory, and it builds this cool little application, or this cool little website for you. And let's try this. I'm going to create a new thing, and I'm just going to drag this, not, that was the wrong one, drag this one into here. There we go. And that's really nice. This is something I always enjoy. Any place that I've worked at where we had this, and you could click in and you can actually say, it'll say that it'll show all the lines of code that were tested, right? So I'm going to, just for fun, just so we could see, we're going to change the title to space and time. Space and okay, so what we should do is get a failure. And yeah, I guess this probably won't. Yeah, so that, and then I think we have to reload this. It's not just gonna, so it showed that, but if we go here, we have to reload, unfortunately. There's probably a way to set this up, but, so it's showing that we have 100% coverage, but we are failing, right? So now, in order to get it to pass again, all we need to do is copy this, and paste it in there. Save. And it's still upset. It's saying that Oh, maybe it's slow. Did I paste it? Space and time. Oh, this time it's showing them all passed, but it did not update this thing. Reload. I don't know. It's kind of, oh, well, no, it's showing one failed, and it's saying it expected that to equal that. So it looks like it didn't pick up my change to the spec file. Um, maybe I didn't save it. I'm pretty sure it did, though. Yeah, so it decided to rerun it, but it didn't seem to actually, or maybe I'm looking at the wrong. Oh, wait. So we had two successes and one, and should be titled, but the title up top of this, that's weird. So it's upset that the title, and this is, I'm learning something here. It's upset that the one failed, executed 3 of 3, and it's not telling me which one failed. Um, let's come back over here, but it is the second one, right? It says should be space and tile and expected space and time to equal to, oh, okay. And so let's come back in here, and it's upset because I guess it actually fixed my title to be space and time, even though we're not actually seeing it, which is weird, um, because it's still showing space. It actually, I don't know, it's not even the title. Um, but now we're good. I don't actually know what that title is. I kind of want to shut the whole, maybe, oh, now we have a issue here. All imports. Okay, so that's a warning, and it is kind of funny that this compile warning comes with this thing built. You know, it comes up the actual built by the CLI application is showing a warning. Okay, so I'm curious. Um, okay, so all of those things are passing. This is passing. It's not showing space and time, so I don't know what the app title is referring to. Um, everything is passing now, though. Um, hello world, space, and time. So this is, oh, okay. So the title of, so basically we have three names. These are the names of the um, tests, right? Um, so I would normally change this thing to be like correct title. Like, I mean, why would you want the actual test to be in there? Um, should have the correct title. Let's see if it fixed that piece. Yeah, so now it fixed that piece, so that's good. Should render and render correct title. And that actually isn't the correct title. So, and actually, I don't even know. Now that I think about it, I don't think we even need that. I think because the to contain in unit tests just means that it's not a match. That it is that it just has that text in it. And I believe there's a like dot matches or something instead of to contain. So if I change this to match instead of to contain, so then it should fail. Yep. Should create, should rent. Okay, so these are in backwards. Oh yeah, and so what we'd figured out is even though it acts like it picks up the new test, it doesn't actually pick up the new test. And this is like that's another thing that's just nice to like that could be very difficult to figure out if you had a bunch of code. It's a little bit easier to figure out um, when you don't have a lot of code. Um, but it is weird because it's still passing, and I would have expected it. Text content. Oh, maybe it's too equal. Too equal? Let's see if it picks that up. Okay, yeah. So two equal. So two match apparently just has to have in there, and to contain it just has it in there, and it is picking up my changes. Um, all right. So one last thing I want to do. I mean, unfortunately, we won't get it working because I'm sure I've used up all my time. Yeah, 21 minutes. Oh, and that is another thing is when you kill these things, the browser it will just bring one up again. You actually have to kill it in the command line if you want it to go. But so I don't know. I don't know what kind of value that brought. So far, doesn't really. That's another thing with unit tests is they don't really seem to bring a lot of value early. It's just later on. Um, it makes it a lot makes you feel a lot more confident building things a lot of times because you have to really understand the code in order to unit test it, which is kind of nice. But anyways, does Angular 19 come with E to E testing? Let's see. I feel like it used to come with it. Oh boy, that shows how long I've been in this. So apparently 2 years ago they quit uh, adding protractor by default. However, you can. So Cypress, a lot of people really like Cypress. I've never used it, but I think it's probably pretty good. I've heard amazing things about Playwright as well, and then WebDriver IO. So I don't know about this one. Anytime I see Selenium and WebDriver, I think that I immediately think of Java, and I don't have Java installed and all that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I believe Selenium used to be a completely Java thing. Um, let's see. There's Test Cafe. Um, it's best for most due to ease of use for advanced testing needs. So that's probably not us. Uh, okay, I'm definitely not familiar with Selenium. Um, and then Test Cafe, I don't know. This is funny that, like it would be funny, it would be interesting to understand um, uh, like what features are missing from Test Cafe. Is the is a robust developer friendly E2E tool native advanced automation features such as okay, it's advanced browser automation. Okay, I don't know what that means. Oh, except real time. Oh, okay, yeah. So I think that's pretty big. Just because, I mean, I'm doing this for fun, and pausing and inspecting is part of the fun of things. Yeah, and having to write debug statements probably wouldn't be as fun. Robust allow you to stuff component testing. All right, So I think tomorrow I will try to um, install Cypress. Um, I do not know. I'm not committing to using unit tests and end-to-end testing throughout the entire project, but I'm definitely going to give it a try. Um, as you see, it is time consuming, and yeah, uh, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be worth it. We'll see. But that is next, and I can guarantee one thing: it will never be easier than at this moment to get get like today. Getting unit testing working was going to, since it just we first started, we even ran into some issues right at the beginning. But since the application is pretty small, is tiny, teeny tiny, it was fairly easy to get going. And Cypress, I'll try to get going tomorrow. Although I probably should commit this so that I can bail if the Cypress install gets to be too onerous. So let me, okay, so I killed that. Git status. Okay, let's see what our changes are. Okay, so this is specifically for unit tests. This removes the existing stuff, tweaks the unit tests, and then, okay, so change the title. Okay, so let's see, git checkout, getting started, startup, -b startup. So now I'm checking out, I'm creating a new branch, and started, and then I checked it out. So this branch does not exist out um, at GitHub right now. So if I type in git push, I'll actually get an error that tells me how to get it out there. So I can just do this, Control V, and now this branch exists at GitHub, so I would be able to work with somebody else. So in this, yeah, so I'm definitely going to want to get rid of that imports, but I probably won't do that in this commit. Okay, so what I like to do is, so this is video 02, so I like to do my commit messages like this. And that's video 002. And this, what this one does is it changes the title. And then this, so this is video, and this removes the default app content. And then, so, and I would definitely say I am not a, what? Oh no. Okay, so apparently I had not staged this. Wrong one. Stage this one. I do that all the time. So you just hit the up button. It was like, you didn't commit nothing, dude. Okay, and now let's add these two, and then sets up unit tests. So now I can do a git push, and if we go to GitHub, we can see my changes. Showtime. confused. I don't see my repo. Let's see. Let's see. Up here, setup string, getting started, origin. Let's see, let's type in space. There we go. So you'll see we have our getting started branch now. We can just say I'm not going to do a pull request, but I can say compare and do a pull request, and we can, I believe, yeah, scroll down here and we can see what the changes were. It's weird. I thought I could see them. Okay, so they have it down here. So basically, we can see the changes and all that, and it's all up at GitHub now. So tomorrow I will install, I'm going to attempt to install Cypress. Hopefully that goes well. If it does, then that'll be good, and I can push that change. If it doesn't, I will bail from that change. You know, that was the main reason for this commit, was just like in case, I don't know if Cypress, well, it's be very nice to see exactly what happens when I go to install Cypress, and B, it'll be nice to be able to bail out of it if it just becomes more than I want to deal with. So anyways, yeah, so here we go. It's a slow but steady start. Yeah, tomorrow's end-to-end testing, getting end-to-end testing set up, and then I will start trying, hopefully, if I don't think of something else, I'll start trying to get the D3, the ThreeJS installed. So happy coding, everybody. Bye.